Good morning, everyone. I'm Weather Authority Kaylee Bowers. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is in Graves County, Kentucky right now, touring the damage from last night's tornado. We have multiple watches, multiple warnings. Now's the time to get to your safe space if you happen to be in those bright shades of red. We're seeing quite a bit of lightning in northwest Tennessee. Number of strikes, about 30 strikes within the past 5 minutes. This is where the setup gets a little bit tricky. Depends on how much cloud coverage we see. If we see more clouds, these storms really not looking to be as severe as what they could be if we see more sunshine. And if the ingredients are right, we could have a brief tornado, especially in those nighttime hours. Could be very dangerous. You want to have your phone fully charged and also have that ringer turned on in case any active watches or warnings happen to be issued. Really bundle up if you need to go outside today. Feels like temperatures currently, most of us in the single digits. So if you don't need to be outside, stay inside because the roadways very slick, but crews are working very hard to try to get all this wintry weather cleared up as fast and as best as they can. So a few things that the governor did mention: that storm traveled 200 miles just in western Kentucky, so it was a very fast moving storm, but it's also going to be warmer tomorrow morning than we have in these past few days. We saw temps in the 40s today and yesterday. Tomorrow, temperatures will be in the 50s, but still could be jacket weather for quite a few of us.
All of New Orleans is without power, so what's happening right now, and it shouldn't impact us?
Yeah, we have the impacts for Hurricane Ida later on this week. Right now, we are seeing a slight downgrade from Hurricane Ida. When it made landfall this morning, it was a Category 4 storm, so still a very strong storm as a Cat 2, but not as strong as what it was earlier today. We're seeing. So first off, I want you guys to know we are in the clear, not tracking any active watches or warnings here in the local 6 area. But let's take a step back, go back about 24 hours. Here's the loop. Look how fast those storms move through the local 6 area. Notice the timestamp. Most of us done with those strong storms before daybreak. But let's zoom into the beginning of those storms. It started in Jonesboro, Arkansas between 7 and 9 o'clock yesterday evening. It moved up northeast into the portion of the local 6 area. You can see right there. First off, we did have a tornado confirmed in parts of Fulton, Kentucky in the Casey area. You can see where those bright colors are indicating that rotation and also that potential for strong winds and also for that hail. So that's the first tornado touchdown that we had here in the local 6 area. Now, we've been talking about Mayfield all throughout this evening and also throughout the day. We're going to stop this in the Mayfield area right around 9:30. You can see that hook echo that Trenton Noah mentioned yesterday night. That's what brought us some devastating catastrophic storms to Mayfield. But fast forward just about an hour later, going up towards the Hopkins County area, towards Morton's Gap, seeing another touchdown in that rotation for that potential for a tornado. And just over an hour or two later, we had another touchdown in Christian County in the Lafayette area. But coming up, we're still under that weather authority alert for this evening, tracking some strong storms heading our way. Things have changed since this morning. Most of us under that level 4 moderate risk, which is that shade of red for most of the local 6 area. So what we're talking about, there is that potential for some strong damaging tornadoes and also some gusting winds at about 40, 50, possibly even 60 miles an hour. These two, the winds and the tornadoes, look to be the biggest threats for this evening. Hail not out of the question. However, that chance is a little bit more on the lower side. Same thing for heavy rain. So we're talking gusty winds and also that potential for a tornado. And right now, that weather authority alert is in effect till about 7 o'clock this evening till 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this is looking to move overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. A lot of us looking to be asleep. And again, that tornado threat is that biggest risk. Something else that you guys need to know: this is the highest severe weather numbers that we have seen in years. That storm motion moving about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Again, these storms moving pretty quick. These are not the wind speeds. This is how fast that storm will be moving. And also, this is only our 7th moderate risk day within the past 8 years. The last time we had a moderate risk day was back in 2018, where we had 11 tornadoes touch down here in the local 6 area. So please take this seriously. We're not trying to hype this up, but we're trying to keep you all safe. So speaking of safety, it's very important. Have multiple ways to receive and also hear your warnings, your phones, your laptops, your weather radios. all very important for this evening. Make sure to have those turned on and also fully charged before you go to bed for tonight. So when is this moving into your area? Well, we're tracking a cold front moving through. That's bringing us those strong storms, but a lot of us heading home from school, you're fine. It's gonna be cloudy, also gonna be warm. Also, we'll see a few pockets of light to moderate rain throughout the afternoon and the evening. This is when it's really looking to start. Most of us will be home by then from our commute. If you happen to commute between 5 and 7 o'clock, you should be fine. Here comes that first round between 9 and 10 p.m. Seeing the pockets of the heavy rain. We're going to continue to see some on and off rain throughout those overnight hours. So yes, a lot of that heavy rain, it's moving rather quickly. Like I mentioned, that storm motion between 50 and 60 miles an hour. So come tomorrow morning, by the time a lot of us will be waking up, we are done with that heavy rain and that potential for those strong storms. In fact, some of us may see some sunshine, but also see our temperatures cool down rather quickly from the remnants of that cold front. Tomorrow afternoon, we will only be in the 40s. Also seeing some gusty winds throughout tonight and tomorrow morning. Like I mentioned, wind gusts of about 40 miles an hour, if not greater, are possible throughout tonight. Right now, no wind advisory has been in place for the local 6 area. However, surrounding areas have been put under that wind advisory, but still, bring in your trash cans, bring in your holiday decorations, or even just tie them down. It's gonna be a very windy night and also full of active weather. So please be careful for this evening. Trent, Noah, and myself will be here throughout tonight and also throughout those overnight hours in case anything happens to develop. So again, a weather authority alert has been issued for everyone in the local 6 area for the threat for damaging winds and also the potential for some tornadoes. Temperatures, that's something else. We could be record breaking with our highs for this December 10th, seeing highs in the low 70s. Low 50s come tomorrow with some more gusty winds, cooling down going on to this upcoming week. However, another warm up and rain on the way by the end of next week. I want to show you exactly what happened in the Graves County area. Noah took the screen grab earlier last night. This was at 9:28 last night. This is that tornado that moved through the Mayfield area that devastated many lives. You can see just how intense it is. So yes, there's a potential that that tornado could have been an EF4, possibly even an EF5 tornado. Now it's going to take a while before we get actual confirmation, but again, this was a very strong storm. Many people, like we have seen throughout tonight or throughout last night and this morning, things have changed. Got this photo. This is damaged by the Graves County Courthouse. Our local 6's Jack Kane took this when he was down there earlier this morning. So a lot of people still devastated. And this is also the jail and the courthouse in Mayfield. Look at all that debris on the roadways. If you don't have to be driving on the roads, don't. They also had a flat tire. Jack and our photographer Justin Jones had a flat tire because of that debris on the roads. Also very important, please do not drive on the roads if you happen to see down power lines, as those power lines could still be active. And yes, we do still have quite a few power outages throughout the local 6 area. Crews are working around the clock to get everything figured out and get your power restored. Also very interesting photo. This was taken between the lakes. You see that right. There is that tornado touching down. And this tornado, it moved over 200 miles starting in northeast Arkansas, made its way through Missouri, Tennessee, and also Kentucky. So it hit 4 states in the span of several hours. So we've seen quite a few storm reports. Want to go through them real quick just for some of us. We'll talk about them throughout the morning and the afternoon. So the first one, this is Mayfield. Major damage. Everyone knows that now. Reported in the Mayfield area, and as of now, we're still getting more information as crews are still waking up and trying to figure out what exactly to do. Benton, the time of this report, 9:45 last evening, a mobile home on Jackson School Road was completely destroyed and a nearby garage was swept off its foundation. There's that potential for a possible tornado confirmation over there. And over towards the Dresden area, real quick, there was a tornado with at least 1 person injured in Dresden with 6 buildings damaged. And yes, many buildings have been damaged because of that strong storm and also the potential for multiple tornadoes that moved through overnight. Now today, things much calmer, however, still tracking some gusty winds and much cooler temperatures, really feeling a lot like 2 weeks till Christmas, but slowly warming up, feeling a lot more like fall by the end of the week. Well, today was definitely a life-changing day for everyone here in the local 6 area. As we get more information to the newsroom, we like to share it with you guys on air and also online. But here's what we know as of the latest. Still a quad state storm for that one tornado. Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky were all impacted by a single tornado that traveled over 200 miles. Some reports say it traveled over 250 miles. Still looking to get that confirmed, but most of Kentucky, it traveled in most of Kentucky, 200 miles here in western Kentucky. And something very interesting, that debris was over 35,000 feet in the air, and that's higher than most airplanes go. So very high up in the air, and that was picked up on our radar. And so far we've had several records broken because of these strong storms. We could definitely see more records broken before the end of the weekend. So here's a live look at Ultimate Doppler from the past 24 hours. You can see the storms moving into northeast Arkansas, moving into northwest Tennessee and western Kentucky. Right now, again, no active watches and warnings are in place. Look at the timestamp. This is last night into those overnight hours into this morning. That storm moved rather quickly. That storm motion was around 50 to 60 miles an hour, and like we mentioned, it started in northeast Arkansas, traveled all the way into west central Kentucky between 220 and 250 miles. So a very long-lasting, powerful, and also a very devastating storm. Winding up the bigger picture, look at all these storm reports just in the past 24 hours. Now, I know this is very intimidating. We're going to lower this down for you. So going into western Kentucky right now, we have 18 storm reports confirmed here in the local 6 area. So the first thing I want you guys to notice, you see that little red circle that moves through Arkansas, the Boot Heel, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Those are tornado reports. So we're going to talk about those first off. We're going to go down right now over towards the Fulton area, towards the Casey's actually. Damage reports in Casey's to a cafe and also the fire department. Again, this was last night. We have many reports very similar to this. We've been talking about Mayfield all day. Major damage has been reported in Mayfield. If you have loved ones there, try to get in contact with them. However, cell service is still down for many people, and still things are changing as we go on throughout the evening. Going to eastern Kentucky all the way over towards the Morton's Gap area, there's a possibility a rain-wrapped tornado had formed between Morton's Gap and Earlington around 10:52 last night. And just a little bit later, just a little bit further south, here we go right there, right around 12 o'clock, we did have the potential for a tornado just southwest of Lafayette around 12:15 this morning. But once that moved out, we were pretty much done with the active weather here in the local 6 area. However, our friends in Bowling Green and Nashville, that was just the beginning for them. Many states and also many people were impacted from strong storms. But tonight, things much different. We're seeing a mixture of clear skies and clouds. Eventually, the sunshine is back for everyone going on into tomorrow. And because that cold front that moved through yesterday that brought us those strong storms, we're seeing some slightly cooler temperatures for this evening. Temperatures already in the upper 30s, low 40s. Our highs today, folks, we're in the upper 60s and the low 70s. So we reached them early this morning. Eventually, we will be warming back up and also seeing plenty of clear skies. However, not warming up going on to tonight. In fact, dropping down to the upper 20s, low 30s going on into tomorrow morning. But here comes the warm up, feeling a lot more like fall going on into Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures the upper 60s, near 70s, and another chance for some rain by the end of the week.